Hey, hey, hey. It is nice to see you. And yeah, we're going to do a bit of a stream today, which is sort of the idea. And there are some things I need to merge, and then I think we can get a patch release out of nuxt. That's the idea. So very warm welcome if you are here, and you've been waiting for me because, to be fair, there was a little bit of a pause. I was trying to get I was trying to get stream place working, honestly. It looks fun. It looks like we might be able to, it's very early, obviously, but I thought I would try it, and it doesn't seem to work that well with Restream. It keeps on losing the stream and thinking I'm offline, so I might try that later, but for now, I like the fact that I can put stuff out on Twitch and YouTube. So there we go. Yes, Isaac, nice to see you. And yes, some dramatic music would be perfect. That's absolutely what we need. Let's see. I'm going to approve some PRs. And okay, so update webpack, log file, and just spotting which ones are safe to auto merge. So yes, there are a few things I want to get out. It looks like this is also fine. I just need to rerun the one job. This is good as well. I just approved it, so we can satisfactorily merge that. There'll be a few more things that I think we can get going. Let's see. We're in a patch release, so I don't want to include any enhancements. And in general, I also tend to ignore the documentation PRs because they are they can be merged at any time, so they don't need to be merged in a time-sensitive kind of way. So I'm just going to pull those out and see if I can focus on any fixes. Okay, this looks like a solid fix, as does this. The problem is with some of these is I really would like to see some tests that validate the fix. So, but there are a few I think I can go for it, and this one I think is one of them. Cool, we just need to pull, oh, for goodness sake. What's the difference here? Oh, right. So it's the difference is this if config key bit. And I think, yeah, so these are our options. You want to pull that in there, like that, I think. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, options, functions, where's that coming from? Right. Hey, Adlaxed, nice to see you. Right, this is, okay. So, function overrides defaults, all good. Ah, yes, I'm moving the if config key down. Okay, so we move that down below here, I think. And this, I think, gas gets pulled out of the if config key. Yeah. All right, okay. So the change that I'm looking at is related to my PR a few days ago, which was here. Actually, I think it was on stream. Regardless, so this pulls out. Yes. Okay. So let's just have a quick look at that. That's the source. The difference in this PR is, what is the difference? So this PR does what? It uses this module options function. Okay, so that's the only difference throughout. So I think I should just be able to accept the incoming change. And then everywhere we use options functions, we should just be able to use that nuxt module options functions there. I think that should be good in terms of merging it. Let's see. There seems to be one other. Oh no, that's all good. Okay, let's just get diff and just see that the diff remains the same as in the PR. So we have, what was it? Yes. And then our current functions. Yes. Then the next one is in our cool. This is looking right. And then just delete at the end. Yeah, seems good. Okay. Right, so that's something we can merge in a moment. Then here we have, okay, we have a few more, and I just want to validate that it in fact, there's so many that Florian has been creating, and I really need to properly merge them. Nerexius, nice to see you, and yeah, thank you. Right, this also needs, but that needs to be merged for the main, and honestly, if Kazari has put this in, it's going to be a good one. It's maybe a small perf improvement, but we might as well do it. Hey, thank you. That was very, very kind. Well, maybe you can spot some issues and let me know if that's required. Okay, it seems fine. I'm not sure how much of a difference this will make, but it seems fine, right? Hello, Mehmet, nice to see you. Jan, nice to see you. I don't plan to use cursor, no. Honestly, VS Code is really good, and I tend to have a, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And most of what I'm doing, it's not that I would benefit hugely from cursor. I do use it on occasion, but most of what I'm doing, it doesn't benefit from using an AI editor. And when I do need it, Copilot agent mode is very, very useful. Okay. Okay, this seems fine. Cool. Some issues. It's a lot of issues. And it's all in development. I wonder what it is. It might be this okay, that maybe require a little bit more attention. Okay, I think I'm happy to go ahead and release a patch and include the rest in this one. I think we can merge. Hey, from the Philippines. Nice to see you. Okay. I think it's probably complaining. Yeah, it's complaining that we don't need abort transition anymore. And I'm not Hey, Suyesh. There's some things here. This one I think is very good. It's tricky. I really want to validate these. That's what I want to do. So there's that. This surely is about to, I think I'm just going to merge it. It's a perfectly valid update. What is it? Just a patch. And it's just one which hadn't finished running. Okay. And then we have some other non-major dependency. I hate this kind of thing, where you basically have to go through and make some small changes in order to make everything work. Okay, so what is the problem? Autofix. Maybe there's a. What's the difference? Ooh. This does seem like there might be an issue in this particular update. What could it be? Test utils? Yeah, there's a nuxt test utils update. But why? I was thinking it was a very straightforward merge. Okay. Are you up for seeing me do some PR reviews? Because it might be boring, but it might be necessary. Okay. Let's okay. We need the new version of the Webpack plugin, and he is filled here. And let's see if there's anything else to update. Seems so. Okay, vtest, we're not updating that right now. Okay, so no, nothing else to update. We'll just dedupe. Cool. Commit. And now we need to identify the. So nuxt server functions from Anthony is hasn't been, I think, touched in a while, but yes, server functions is something that I am looking at. Oh, he did do some work on it about 2 months ago, so maybe it is a little bit more active. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's something that we were very much considering for Nuxt. Cool. Okay, I want to check one thing. There was one more thing I was doing, which is over here. Yeah, no. Basically adding some end-to-end tests for nuxt.com. Why is that? Oh. Let's test this. Okay, let's try. What am I doing? Test browser. And for some reason, which test isn't working? Some of them. Oh, it's my mistake, I think. This hash navigation. So some of these things, right. I made some changes and didn't test. And I did not test. Luke, nice to see you. Yeah, we would still have one file for API per API, Isaac, in terms if we're doing server functions in nuxt. I think. Okay, internal. Why? Okay, I'm going to look at that another time. That's not super urgent. Okay, back to this. Okay, so there was a reason this wasn't working. Now the previous was failing on AutoFix, and in fact was failing in the runtime tests. So that's what we're going to check. So this is probably related to an update we did in nuxt. What? Okay. In nuxt test utils. But the thing was that it was passing before then, so we need to figure out what the issue is. There's also a PR open there that I need to investigate just in case yeah, maybe this. Yeah. Hey, Gabriel. Yeah, no, I bet you're triggered. I'm working on a little blog post. I don't want to do it in some kind of triumphal way, but just to talk about a little bit of how our API isn't susceptible to the same kind of thing, okay, same kind of attack. Okay. Cool. We can drop this one. It is already released. And delete the branch. Okay, let's see if we can reproduce the issue in CI. Florian, nice to see you. Florian, not Florian. Florian, nice to see you. Yes, it still has the same complaint. This looks like there's definitely some breaking changes. Oh, that's a pain. Okay, next test utils, we're going to have to revert the change back to 3.20. Let's see, which one was it? Right now, I don't care. I like we'll fix the next test utils, but right now I want to just revert back to a working version, so we're not holding back Nuxt itself in terms of releases. So nuxt test utils 3.20.0, and we'll install that and that is where we had there, for example. Oh, 3.20. I'm guessing there was a problem. Yeah, there was a problem releasing it, wasn't it? So it was 20.1 that was released. Yeah, looking much better. Okay. So we need to figure out what's going on there as a separate thing. Right, okay. So we have a couple more things that I would like to get in if it fixes something. So here we have, yes, Florian. We have a fix for an issue loading layers. And the tricky thing here is we need to validate that it fixes the actual issue. So let's see if we can replicate it. So we have a layer with a nuxt config.js, and it says the output file is generated in the subfolder. Okay, let's try that. So we're going to do that with our local app, and this is an explicit layer. So yeah, there we go. So we are going to create foo nuxt config.ts, and we're just going to export burn.js, I should say, and we're going to extend it, and that should be sufficient to replicate this issue. And playground. No, it's building it in, it's building it in the correct place, but this is the fix. Let's go back to the main branch and see if we can reproduce the bug. And yes, it is outputting it in the wrong place. Cool, so this does fix it. But I want to see why, because it's setting the layer config for the root direction. Oh, I see, the root directory. Yes, I get how that would do it. Okay, so this is a fair fix. Okay, yeah, nice. Good, that's a good fix. Okay, so that resolves that. Cool. Okay, what's next? We have my thought process. Yeah, it's where I basically make mistakes, then figure out things. So this one I think needs another change somehow, because it doesn't seem to work with, I should say that. I pushed a regression test. It doesn't look like this is enough on its own to resolve. Do you have any ideas? Right, okay. What else are we on? Those should both be mergeable, right? Now that we've pushed the... Okay, so this one I am very unsure about because I want better testing, basically. I want to be able to Because the issue is when you displace, I want to avoid this sort of flashing that's going on. And so we cache vnodes, and then we reuse them when we're going between suspense forks. And this is crazy that we do it, but it absolutely works to make the suspense resolve in the right way in nuxt. But this might be the right response, but I just don't have enough tests. So the other day I started work on adding some runtime tests here. And let's see, I think it was, yeah, I think this is on the main branch. Okay, so I'm going to undo my commits. And so here's the suspense test. And it's very much, I don't think it's totally right yet. So if I run, we have two projects. So we have nuxt and nuxt legacy, nuxt universal. Okay, so we're not interested in that. We just want nuxt. So we're going to run nuxt. Yes. Now this isn't working for some reason. The root isn't correct and the HTML isn't correct. So basically, I have to invoke to pretend to have a like a routing system, because we're doing this in JS DOM environment. Hey, Bobby, nice to see you. So I'm adding roots programmatically, and then we're navigating to them. So here we navigate to suspense sync 1, async 1. So it should be this, right? Maybe we need to make them literally parents. What are we doing with hasChild? This isn't quite right. Okay, basically I'm trying to replicate this behavior here in nuxt. I'm going to just start from scratch, okay? I'm not happy with this. Okay, so what we want to do is okay, so we have this test in here in our test suite, which is currently an end-to-end test. And I navigate from like a page with an async setup to a page with another async setup at a different parent and so on. And I want to check that there's no white flash. There's no moment where at any point there is a like a gap. So either you go from one fully resolved page to another fully resolved page. There's no intervening flash. And so I want to somehow test for that in this runtime test rather than a production one. So in order to do that, hey, by the way, Turbo Run, nice to see you. So what we're going to do, so this is an example of like adding a root. We're going to copy that. And what we want to do, we don't care about visits, okay? After each. What we want to do is add some roots and then do some navigations between them. So in our basic test, what did we do? We had a whole set of navigations, and tricky one. And so what we want to do is, we want to navigate. I'm going to undo the changes here for now, so I can copy and paste between them. So right, so we have these navigations. So we need to create a routing setup that handles it. So we're going to manually do that. We have a, we're going to call this, what were they? Okay, path is suspense. And this one, we don't, it just has some children. And the children are path, we have async parent, and we have, can I do this by the way? Yeah, okay. We have path sync parent, and then we have children, and the children are path we have async child and sync child, and we have sync child. Cool. And then those are replicated for our sync parent as well. And now we need to have some other things, right? We need to have a component here and here. So a defined component basically renders this, actually renders all of that. So it should be pretty straightforward. Let's just put it in a comment so I can see what it is. Maybe not. Let's try putting it in. There we go, it's a bit clearer. I wonder if I can make it look like doesn't do anything for me. What about HTML? Cool. Okay, so Toblerone, I have had a totally different experience with AIs. So I have not had any issues at all. And basically, for me, the key is using a project which is already set up. And make sure you expose the MCP servers that exist. Okay, so we want to have a setup function, and it's going to render. What is it going to do first? We have some setup code, which is going to be this, and it's going to do some logging. That's an async setup. Is there a root? Let's look at async parent. What is the root is used in the code. So we are going to return a render function. Is that right? Has an ID, and nuxt page will import from components. Cool. So hopefully that would render something. And we need a child. So our async child looks like this. Component, define component, and it has got a setup, async setup again, Not sure why the brackets disappear there. And basically it's going to look like this. So we're just going to pull out the content and remove the ifs. They exist. Great. And then we're going to return our render function and div id child. Yep. Async child data. Cool. Wait, what's wrong here? Hello, Robin. Good to see you. Root params generic. Oh. We'll just do JSON stringify data. Yes, that's the issue, right? Yeah. Cool. Okay, so we've created our little code for the async child. Okay, what's the sync child? Now, are these two exactly the same? Yeah. Okay, so in a moment we'll refactor and make this simpler. So our sync child is component, define component, setup, and we are doing that. And so we're going to pull this out of there, and then we are going to pull that out. Nice. So, oops, come on. All right, so great, we have our sync child. And now we want to do the same for our async and our sync child, which is now I think where we can start refactoring this slightly. So the sync child and the only difference is that it specifies what it is here. So it says sync, and it specifies what kind of parent it is. Okay, so we're going to write this component like this. So function define sync child. Parent is going to be sync or async. And we're going to return a define component, and it is going to log parent. There we go. And it's also going to return, oh, we don't actually need this anymore. There we go. That's just for type support. So define sync child should be fine. So now we just swap it out here. Cool. And we can do the same, I think, for the async child too. So our async child is identical, except again that it defines the parent. So we're going to copy this once more and say define async child sync. Oh, and except in both cases that these are async parents. Okay. And so we have a function define async child, and we return this, and we just swap out parent, and we can drop this. Cool. Okay, so we now have our async child, and we now just need maybe to have the right approach for the parents. So the difference is if it is async, it awaits the promise. Otherwise, it doesn't. Otherwise, they're the same. So, okay. So what we do here is we say function define parent, and we say mode mug. It is, how empty is it? It's not that empty. There is tea in it. It's huge. This mug is like, it's enormous. There is much tea. Okay, but break time is never a bad thing. Okay, so we're defining our parent. I'm going to copy it from here because this is, I'll copy it from here because this is by far the more complicated of the components. So now the tricky one is that actually maybe it's just worth inlining the two different versions of it, maybe, because they're just different. Yeah, and there are only two of them, as opposed to the children, which basically just need so in this case we're just pulling in, we're saying there's sync. And we have our sync parent, which is here. And so our sync parent is just going to be setup and run that. In a second, I'm going to improve this a little bit. Okay, we're returning a render function. Yeah, cool. So, right, yeah. So now instead of console logging, I think we're just going to instead record events. So we have events, and they're going to be strings, and we're just going to push event. So function add event, and just do this, and so we do okay, which means we now need a way of doing this in here. So we're going to pass our add event function, and here, and there. Okay, so now I just want to validate that this is working slightly. So we should add a test and assert that it should render a page correctly. And we want to hey Q and woof, nice to see you. It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you. So let's try to go to one of these routes. So I think this is an example of a valid route. So const L is wait not suspended, and there we go. We're going to navigate to here, and we want this to render something. Cool. And expect to match inline snapshot. Okay, run project nuxt test nuxt suspense. Cool. Now we have a snapshot which has been written. Haha. Okay. Is that right? I think not. So why isn't that right? Cannot remove non-existent root. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't exist. And we want to remove name suspense. That's what we want to remove. Let's just see what we do in our nuxt page test. We render it. Oh, we use navigate too. Is right. We should also use nuxt layout because we do care about tracking that one. Should flush promises maybe. I do sometimes use AI. I mean, you can see I'm using it right now, so it's okay. No. Why? Sync one. Sync two. Hey, thank you, Milton. And Joaquin, nice to see you too. Let's on error captured. This is something that will be fixed in the next version of will be fixed because it will actually throw an error when you mount something and it fails. Okay, so there is an error. No? To strict equal. It is. Or rather, it is Florian, and it isn't. So what I'm trying to do is write a test, is migrate the tests that we currently have that are end-to-end tests into being runtime tests, which means we can more easily add more tests, because I want to be able to test this logic as well. But to do it at the moment, it's bulky and complicated. This is something I've meant to do for a while, and it's a good prompt for doing it. So, oh, this changes our bundle size. Oh, I hate it. So there's some dependency which is slightly bigger, and so now we have to bump our bundle size. And I'm just going to whip commit this. Oh, actually I have nuxt stash, which is an alternative nuxt version, so I could just swap here, update the bundle size, and come back. So it's there, and the bundle size is 1.3. No, what is it? 1436. It's now 1437. This is the server difference, and 96.3. Also server is now 96.6, and then 1447, now 1448. And so we're going to just confirm that this works. The purpose of the bundle test isn't to stop changes, but to make sure we are aware of them. So if there is so for example, in this case, if it's a dependency, unless it's a huge change, we can't do anything about that. It's just a change in the dependency. And so we don't regard that as a failure, but it does mean that we're aware of it. But if we're making a change within nuxt itself and that changes, then we are aware that we have done something to increase the size. That is not something we want to be the case, and we can fix that. So I think the 288, the problem with bundle size tests is also they're slightly flaky in that they depend a little bit on the environment you're running it in. So that one wasn't flagged up, so I think it should be good. Okay, so back to our nuxt project here. Now I want to figure out why there is I'm going to pull out errors and just stick this into any error at all. We want to flush promises, and we also want to, weird. Oh, we're doing sync. Let's pop it in there. Yeah, date functions, that was crazy. Thankfully, I think it was just source maps, but very significant for installing it. What am I doing wrong? Because okay, we're adding all these roots. The path is suspense. Let's try, const root is router resolve, expect root to be okay. That seems fine, right? So we have the full path. It seems like it's resolved correctly. Okay, so why would the navigation not succeed? So let's try a wait next tick. Just does that make a difference? Let's just keep it running. Why would the HTML? Why would the HTML be nothing? This works fine in nuxt page, right? So here, I'm so confused. Hey, Ali. And Andres AST, if you can tell me. This is weird. Let's try navigating there before we render the page, because I'm guessing maybe, yes, okay, that's it. So the issue, I think, is that there was no home page, maybe. Okay, so now it should be, oh, no, it should not be a catch-all. Let's see. Why is that a catch-all? So we have a catch-all root. So which I guess makes sense if there's some kind of bug displaying. So let's just try something else. So let's try div. There we go. So we should now have a div. Yeah. So presumably the issue is that there's like an error in one of these things, and we're never getting to it. Maybe. Let's try. If we can. Oh, this is terrible. Why did I decide to stream this? Is what rightly you would ask. Let's just pull these functions out because they're very context aware. So we should put them up here. So we have add event and we have define sync child, and we should just be able to push our errors into that array. Interesting choice of font. I will interpret that as a great compliment. And okay. Okay, so let's see. Is there a possibility that there's an issue here? So we're rendering, if I drop, okay, we're rendering sync. So let's just drop out this. So it should now be, okay, it should not be sync parent. Should drop these anyway. So, and it doesn't seem to be these error capture things, so I think we can drop those too. Okay, so we're dropping those, and we're running these things. Okay, but the sync ones are pretty straightforward. So I've just commented that out. And then we also have is this as straightforward as we simply need to have an intervening root with a component that renders nuxt page? I guess we do. That's very frustrating if that is the issue. Maybe. Let's just restart this and automatically update snapshots. Okay, we don't want it to be, I'm just going to remove the before all. And after all. We want to also remove the catch-all root. So router, remove root, catch-all. And we're going to have to, I guess, initially What am I coding? I'm trying to migrate some end-to-end tests in Nuxt from, can I? Let's try that. From to runtime tests. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay. Okay, so this is fine, but frustrating because I feel like this was on me somehow. I probably even coded that. Right, so we can probably also drop the remove catch-all. Still works. Okay, so we now have our sync parent, sync child. So we have these navigations that we want to perform. And in our basic test, to answer your question. So I'm trying to ensure that when navigating from one route to another, when there's suspense involved in Nuxt, we at no point display a blank screen, which is views can often do this when it's navigating between trees. So there's like a parent route and child route and child route, and there might be multiple levels of suspense, so several async functions. And sometimes when one of those functions resolves, it might trigger, it might basically mean that we have partly resolved the final route, but we actually don't want to display anything until we've resolved everything. So we have this basic test here, which async parent, which has okay. So what we want to do is, in this case, we're clicking. We don't want to click. So this is so much more complicated in terms of the navigation. So this we just want to make sure that what's in the logs matches the kind of navigation that's happening. And I think we can probably relatively straightforward do that. So, okay, so we don't need to click anything. What we want to do is, but we do want to do each, okay. So this doesn't actually make any assertions about white flash. It just makes assertions about the order in which things are called. So I think what we want to do is pull this out and say const L is let L wrapper any. And then in our initial setup, we're going to mount it here. Mount suspended, right, whatever we just did, right? And now we have our element that we can perform tests against. Okay, so now we're going to do something very similar to our each navigations, and we're going to try and replicate the same test. So we won't be able to use inline snapshots, but we should be it's to match snapshot maybe. Oh no. Well, it's a bit frustrating, I guess, because we'll. Is that going to work? No. It's the indentation. So let's take it out. Is that going to equal it? Yes. We just need to drop the. This is why snapshots are so nice. Oh no, we can keep them in, I guess, but just trim it. There we go. Okay, so that's just replicating what we had before. And now what we need to do is add the logic. So for each one, we want to navigate to that thing. So we want to render the start page. So await navigate to start. And now it shouldn't always be that, right? Yeah, because it's going to be, so we expect for it to be is going to be start. And so we expect it to be slug, right? No, I think that's just by chance. So the question is why the root. Let me just check testutils and what we're doing here. So in our testutils mount function, we have a root option. Maybe this is being passed to view testutils. What is root? A root is in every case router.replace. I'll just try router.replace in this case. So we are expecting this. Congrats, Ali Maha. That's cool. And hey, Twitch, KZO, nice to see you. Okay, I mean, yeah, this is fair. This is not going to. Okay, so what are we actually testing? Well, we expect it to be. Let's try this. Okay, so what we want to do also in our events is clear them. So before each events length is 0. So, and then what we want to do is make these additional assertions. So we have console logs, we're going to call them events. And we have l.html. So we want text to contain that, and text contain that. And then events. Right. Okay. And we navigate to start, and then we navigate to the child. So, do we have to do this from scratch? We might need to do that. So you basically might need to do something like L and mount, and then maybe before each one, we might just need to do that. Okay, so do this instead, or undefined. This is VS Code. And what we're going to do here is mount suspended at start, just like that. And then we're going to navigate from that point. Okay, so let's see. Lots of things failing, nothing passing. What isn't working? So we have, in fact, I mean, I have a question. Why did it always expect there to be an async child? Oh, there was always an async child. Right. So what are we saying? Oh, this is waiting for the child to be fully, and that's only after we navigate. Okay, so see you later, Luke. Hey, Kazo, I have my extensions on this page, so you can click into the settings and see them here. So I'll just paste that in the chat. Okay, I'm struggling with this one. So let's ignore this for the moment. Okay, I want to see why the events don't match. Okay, there are loads of them. Why is it running so many times? Let's just comment it out. Okay. Now events.length. Oh, maybe after each? Does that make a difference? Okay. How does this work here? No, it's not expecting. So events, there should be nothing here, right? But then after we render it, then we track them. Okay, so we are wrongly sync 1 because we're just going from sync to async. So okay, this is crazy. Why? Why is this? So, oh, but are we not sorting them? No, I think we are. We are still sorting them. So, yeah, the first load from parent, first load from child. Yes, so that's all correct. Then, the parent type, child type, child num, okay, what happens if we don't nav, right? If we don't nav, then we lose quite a lot of text. I'm sorry. I'm just hoping something's going to happen here. Because the... is there a way to... like trigger a navigation? Because let's just try router replace. No, it's just not working. So what we're getting is that we're running async data with an async parent and an async child. Because this is just not the case. Because we're going from a sync to an async. Is that just Yes. Is that possible at all? Yes, okay. This is why. Oh, for goodness sake. So this should be parent. And then async, right? This is just an async child, right? So that's maybe the issue. Let's try this one more time. Okay. Thank goodness. It's just a bug in how I wrote my test. So what do I want? I want to, I shouldn't have, okay, is this right? It's saying that I'm expecting sync 1, async 1. The problem is this is also not super, should be sync 1, async. So let's run async data for this initial. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe it's because I'm not hydrating anything in this case. So we don't, I think it might simplify it if I don't sort, because by sorting it, we're not telling the story of what we're expecting. And in fact, I really feel we might not even, possibly we shouldn't sort them in production either. So what we should be doing is we are loading on the parent, and we should run async data on the parent. Would it make it clearer if we specified we have async child, we have sync child, and then here we have async parent and async parent, and here we have sync parent. Okay, so we're expecting it to be async parent, and then hey, thank you. Okay. So we're expecting, oh, we still have this. cat wants admission. You want to come in? You want to go out? The cat did not want admission. He wanted escape. So we let him escape. So what should be happening? Oh, and we should expect does this still work if I... Well, so what is happening? The specific order is that we are running... the parent is loading. Oh, this expects that when we click, there is then a second render. But it's saying there isn't. So dropping that. And then we expect the child to load before the parent runs async data. Oh, haha. The problem is the second sort. Okay, drop it. So now we have the better order. So we're just missing one. Okay. So what we are not receiving on this occasion is the second async data on the new root. Now, I don't know if that is because we need to await the root. Or because it's just running at the wrong time. So we are navigating from, what is our example here, to sync to async 1. And so I do expect that let's just push an event. So events.push navigation. So I expect then for navigation to be present here. Right? Yes. So the issue is that the root isn't updated. So router replace nav. Let's try that. No. Oh, it's to do with a key. I think it's to do with the way that that nested pages work. So we have page keys and page keys. But by default, is there a difference to how we inject that that parent? Let's well, let's just see if I can just comment out the last one and see that should equal it, right? Yes. Does it equal it for the other paths? So no, this one is expecting interesting. So it has more at the beginning and is expecting a lot more. No, this is receiving a lot more. But this is receiving it because it's not doing it on the server. So that might also be related in some way to why it's not running it on the... child. Oh, this is because we're calling use root. And so we don't have, I think we don't have the injected root key. Is that possible? So if I'm just calling use root here, and where are we importing that from? Let's try ensuring we import it from what did I just do? Oh. Let's see. Good. My connection seems fine. I've dropped 0%, so maybe it's a restream glitch. Cool. I wonder if... Fishy! Nice to see you. Okay. I am well, Fishy, although honestly, I am not wild about this particular test that I'm working on. I want to move this test from end to end into the nuxt runtime test, but there's some behavior differences. So I'm not touching any code right now. I'm just touching the test. And so ideally what I would like is for this just to work. That's what I would like. I don't feel that's too much to ask. And it's not. So, but in a way I was doing it to kill time while I waited for CI to run. So I can already go ahead and merge those particular PRs. Hopefully they don't conflict. Oh, try one more time. There are many chores. There are too many chores, it's true. this is Zen, which I've been very happy with, actually, all in all. Let's see. Nope. It's worked fine for me. I mean, there are some issues with Firefox. I mean, that you encounter with Firefox. So for example, here we go. Here's the nuxt website. I'm going to type so that was me typing at a consistent pace, and it is very, very laggy, and it's an issue with Fuse and Firefox, that it is extremely slow on Firefox, and Fuse is being used in the autocomplete box, which is a pain. Anyway, so yes, there are some things like that. Right. I don't think I can merge that. I think we do have to make sure that that is still okay. So I think we're good to go. We will also want to update this so that it doesn't update test utils 20.0. Yeah, no, Zen is nice, particularly if you take the time to configure it. It doesn't take a lot of configuration, but there is a lot you can do to make it. So I, love the color. That's nice, and you have different environments with different colors. Like it's nice, and then having stuff that's pinned properly. Let's see. And there will probably be an issue with the bundle size, which we'll need to check in a second. It does sync extensions, yeah. As in, what you hate what? That it doesn't, or that it does? Sync. Oh, I see. Well, I think, yeah, Zen seems to sync extensions. Obviously, it requires you to have Firefox extensions, which not everything does. There is also Orion, if you're interested in checking other browsers. but I don't particularly like the Safari interface. But that supports both Chrome and Firefox extensions, which is pretty cool. Okay, so some of these are going to be probably updated. I just don't know exactly which ones. We'll see in a second when this autofix. Yes, areas is good. So you see here I have relax, which is empty. Over here I have build, which is what I'm using here today. But the pinned tabs are not, they're global. But it does have that concept. And Firefox always had container tabs, which are different, totally separated containers where you can open things and not have cookies and so on, like leak. So definitely use that. That's much more powerful. Or no, I think it's the same level of power as Zen areas. But so you have the two things. This is not really a different area. It's just a different tab group effectively. But these container tabs, they are fully different. So that's probably what you really want to do. Well, right now I'm not using any CSS framework, but if I do have to lean for one, I tend to go to Uno CSS. It's beautiful, really works very well. It's a little bit like Tailwind, but it's more customizable and it's very light and very fast. The reason this is failing is actually because of an OXC update, and I have to do something else for that one. But I think we're good to go for the release of Nuxt 4.2.2. I'm going to run an ecosystem CI test against it, and hopefully update. We're not fully passing. There are some niggles against the main branch anyway. But I'm just going to run the ecosystem CI test, and hopefully that's good to go in terms of the main branch. With SVGO, this is now fixed in the next major version of IPX. So we're going to be updating to IPX whenever 4 alpha comes out as version 4. But this should fix the SVGO issue. So it's upstream. Hopefully it will land whenever we can. And it also significantly decreases install size. It should be super nice. But yeah, it's a bug in IPX that has been fixed. Okay, so what we need to do, I think, is cherry pick stuff from main to 3.x, but I do want to just confirm the bundle size. Yes. Did it pass? Oh no, it updated. Did it update? It says 4 spots, so update bundle size. And we now have to go to 3.x and just run, actually go to main next. And we're going to stick all of this in. Go here, pull it down. Yes, the next image release, but really it's IPX release. So im compare branches. I have this command which basically helps me cherry pick stuff between main and 3.x. So we just want to see what the difference is. So this. Okay, I think that's it. So now if I switch to the 3.x branch and cherry pick some stuff across, hopefully, seems some might already have been cherry picked. Oh, I hate this kind of thing. Because this is all about differences between 3.x and 4.x. So, okay, so we have actually doesn't seem to be any change at all. Is that right? Let's check this. Oh, it's just such a big change. Right. Oh, this is a skip. Sorry, I'm getting lost in my thoughts. Almost forgetting I'm on stream. This is a terrible thing. You would just experience what it's like to be in the same room as me. It's not necessarily the most interesting of things. We only want to really run this load nuxt test. Oh, that's weird. Why? That's a different thing. This test comes from somewhere else. Okay, yeah, all we want to do is this test. Let's try that again. We want this one here. Okay. Load next. I think I might be needed in one moment to, yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay. Right. I think this hopefully is going to get us out for a patch release. But in the meantime, we should I should end my stream and hopefully see if there's someone else we can go and raid. I think anyone else you would recommend? Anyone that anyone follows on Twitch that I should discover something about? If not, we're going to go to finite singularity. It has certainly been a lot of fun. And I'll look forward to our next session. But yeah, hope to catch you all later, and don't hesitate to drop me a DM if you've got any questions or if there's anything I can do to help. See you later, and thanks, Whipstick. Bye.